I especially enjoy the work of 𝗨𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗏, who connects trauma, especially with his work with addicts and addiction, where love and compassion and empathy is critical in the world of addiction in order to reconnect people. And when they're in an environment of love and connection, these parts are nourished and they have a chance to come home automatically. And I think this is a really important piece here, that if a part is not connected to because you can't access it, you don't know how to feel it, you don't know how to give it voice, it may mean that you don't feel safe enough, that the environment isn't yet conducive for you to drop in to feel these aspects. So there needs to be a compassion around the timing. All healing has its time, and that it's not always possible to force that healing process. If a part wants to stay hidden and doesn't want to reveal itself, it's probably because it's waiting for the right environment, the right timing, the right people to say, you know what, now I have the right constellation of ingredients to drop in and then open. So parts can't be cracked open with a crowbar. So a forced type of approach doesn't work with this work. Deep relaxation, deep regulation, being in a nurturing environment where you are accepted for who you are as you are, without being fixed, without being coached, without being told who you should be. That's why Hard IQ is built on a structure of zero interference around coaching, fixing, giving advice, teaching, and trying to elicit depth through penetration rather than allowance and surrender. And when we do that, we surrender to the magic. And that's why, as I said, I love doing parts work in circle, because the collective amplified field automatically not only creates a very safe and nurturing space, but it also brings up in an amplified way all those parts that we couldn't access on our own. In other words, we have deeper access to our inner world that we don't have normal access to in everyday life, because we're in an amplified field focused on that intention. And that's really, really cool. And that's a big reason why I do the work, because it's accelerated. That's why we call it accelerated awakening. If you have something you'd like to reflect back, either medicine or follow-up, perhaps I've touched on all the areas. I've spoken about where the parts come from, trauma. We've talked about how to parent our children, our little ones, the environment, how that relates to being in circle as well. Oh, there's one last thing that I would mention here, and that is, I was talking about 𝗨𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗏𝗧's work, and another area that I think does this very well that I'm talking about is a modality called internal family systems, IFS. And that form of therapy is a really wonderful experience of getting to know your different parts and to start to dialogue and invite the sharing of what these parts are feeling and needing as a way to bring them back home. And it can be done with a one-to-one therapist, but once you know how to do that, you can even do that by yourself. I've done IFS therapy for myself because I think it's very valuable. I have a coach that takes me through that process, because to have somebody mirror and reflect, offer feedback and hold space is super valuable. And I just prefer to do it in the presence of another. So I think that's a really, really awesome asset and resource if that's something that you feel a yes to explore. So what I'll do is I'll leave it here. Perhaps if you have any medicine, or perhaps you want to have any further follow-up questions, you may want to post them in the comments below. Otherwise, take care, everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.